welcome to the iWealth podcast. I just wanted to share some things with you on the health side of things. I'm by no way going to sit here and tell you that I understand everything about health and that you should do everything that I do and I'm better than you by any means. I'm not saying that. What I hope to do is share some things that I've seen, I've done, I'm watching, I'm paying attention to that might help you from a health perspective. If you don't have your health, you don't have your wealth. As you know, I'm in the financial planning space and have over the last 30 years helped people retire and sell businesses and hopefully help their dreams kind of come true and help them manifest. And so what I've been trying to attempt to do is live to 129. I know that sounds dumb, doesn't it? 129. So in Strategic Coach and the family that I've been in for the last 17 years of entrepreneurs with Dan Sullivan, going to Chicago once a quarter, one of the first exercises Dan does is this lifetime extender. And he has you imagine what year you're going to die, and you write it down. How old are you? And then he has you imagine 1 year prior, you feel great. What are you doing? And you write down all the stuff you're doing, from walks on the beach with Trudy to being with family and grandkids and friends and travel or whatever those things are that are most important to you. And then after you get done doing that, now knowing how good you feel and what you're doing, how many more years you're going to live, and you extend your age. And anyway, mine's 129. So see Kendra on the street or Corbin on the street and Trudy and ask them what age your dad's going to be when he's dead, and they'll tell you 129. What it does is gives you perspective. At the age of 52 today, I have a lot of runway left before my life is over. And if God takes it away beforehand, then so be it. Then that's what's meant to be. But at this point, I'm planning on 129. Well, to live to 129, you better be focusing on health. I better not be eating ice cream every night and just, drinking every day, all that other kind of stuff, right? Smoking cigarettes, those type of things. Like, I better be paying attention to health. And so what I've done is back when I first started in this business, I came into this business weighing 290 pounds, and today I weigh 190. So it's 100 pounds less, but it's been that way for, 12 years now. 12 or 15 years I've been able to keep it off. But I will tell you this, there's not a day that goes by where I don't worry about going back. I don't know what it's like to be a recovering alcoholic, but I do know what it's like to be overweight, lose the weight, and always think it's coming back. It's always in the back of your mind. And there's some goodness to that. There's some good things that come about when you think about the fact that if I eat this, there's a consequence to it. But it can also hurt. It can force you to maybe not have that sweet at dessert with your wife on a date night because you're worried about it. So you got to there's a balance. It's kind of like retirement. There's people that will save every penny and then they die the day before they retire. And there's people that save nothing and live to 129. And there's people in the middle. I think the same thing with diet and exercise and everything else. And so anyway, when I started to lose this weight, I had to change my life. And what I did is I started to get up early. I had a guy named Harry Pappas. He was a financial advisor for Wells Fargo back in the day, and he came and spoke to us at an event. And Harry talked about his routine. And then he talked about how he wows his clients and things like that. What stood out to me is his routine. And I'm a routine type guy. That's how I'm wired with my Colby. And so routines are good for me. And so I started to get up at 5 a.m. I started to focus on daily devotion, exercise, those type of things. And I will tell you today, it's 5:15 now. But I was up at 5:15 this morning. I've already been on a treadmill for 40 minutes and ran. I've been in the sauna. It's a routine that needs to be hit. And then Trudy's followed right along with it as well. She's just as disciplined or more than I am when it comes to working out and paying attention to what we're eating and those type of things too. So it's a team effort for sure with Trudy and I. But anyway, so 5:15 this morning, I was up, I was in this chair, had a cup of coffee, and I start with my daily devotion. It's about a half hours. I read the Bible. I've got an app that I'm on, and just keeps me grounded and lets me relax and not worry about what's going on in my day. Then after that, I'm able to get into my journal and start to journal. Lately, based upon Dan Sullivan's recommendation, I start my journal with I want. I want ... and then I start to list what I want. his explanation is we need a bunch of wanters in the world, not needers. It's okay to want. It's not okay to need. And so what's interesting about that exercise is that I thought it would be like, I want a new car, I want a new house, or whatever those things are. The want turns into a lot of purpose-driven statements. A lot of things about, I want to live longer. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. Those type of things. I want to travel with my family. Those wants actually have a lot more purpose than just stuff, which I thought it would be all around stuff, and it's not. So that's been interesting. Then, I'll grab my iPad and, look through some emails and stuff like that, go have breakfast, work out, sauna 3 or 4 days a week. I should back up on the workout side of things. Personally, for me, I've been 3 days a week in lifting. So I want to do more lifting. I found out about a year and a half ago, my testosterone was really low. So I've been, taking supplements to try to help that and just want to build more muscle mass. So that's been important. And then since January, I've been working on what's called a VO2 max. And it's really a longevity marker. It's how, the way I interpret it, which is probably wrong, look it up. It's kind of peak to valley on being high with your heart rate and low, and how fast you can recover. So, for me, like today when I was running, I could get up to 160, ran for 4 minutes, and then walk for 3 minutes, get it back down to 110, and then back up to 160, and did that 4 times. So anyway, it's called the Norwegian 4x4. It was recommended to me. I didn't find it, and I've actually really enjoyed it. So that's 2 days a week. And then try to walk a couple more days a week. But every time, every day, I guess, it's 30 minutes. I need to have 30 minutes of exercise a day. And I shouldn't say need, I want to, right? I just got done explaining that. So anyway, exercise has been very, very important. When it comes to food, I've been using a tracker now. Take a picture of it. It's called Cal AI, I believe. Take a picture of my food. I'm really tracking protein. What I've learned and what I've been told by people, doctors I'm dealing with, is that you should try to get your ideal weight in protein every day. So 180 grams of protein. If my ideal rate is 185, my target's 185 a day. It's hard. It's really hard to get there. I've been getting in at 150. Sometimes I'll get to 180, 170. But I'm not focused on calories. I'm focused on protein and how much protein I'm getting. So that, and then obviously a bunch of supplements. There's some, different things around testosterone and fish oil and all that other kind of stuff. Found a doctor that I really like, an MD, but he's also a naturopath doctor, and it's been super helpful to be able to visit with him that's more worried about preventative than just fixing your sore knee today. And so that's been really rewarding. I've also worked with another doctor from Utah. I've had some injections in my knee. I had a torn MCL, and it's been vitamins. My knee's in pretty good shape after doing it. So there's just a lot of stuff out there, and I just wanted to share. Again, I'm not better than anybody else. I don't know better than anybody else, but if I can do it, you can do it. And there's people out there to reach out to get some help and to lean on. There's fitness apps. There's the Whoop that I wear and my Apple Watch when I'm running and those type of things. But I think the main thing is to be intentional with your life, intentional with what you're doing, what you're putting in your body, those type of things, and then not trying to be perfect. There's going to be a vacation, and I'm not going to worry about it. There's going to be my birthday, which is my biggest cheat day of the year, and I'm not going to worry about it. So I think moderation, also an accountability partner. Trudy and I are accountability partners for each other. We don't harp on it, but we both know that fitness and not being overweight is important to us, and so we work on those things daily and share about them and encourage each other and those type of things. So if you can find an accountability partner, I think that's super helpful as well. So anyway, I want to share one last thing with you. So this happened this week. I was on a 2-hour connection call with Free Zone with Dan Sullivan. And Dan was talking about a behavioral therapist he's been following for 40 years, and he was just able to have a conversation with this behavioral therapist. And at the end of the call, Dan said, so is happiness it? Is happiness like the Holy Grail? If you're happy, like life's good. And the guy thought about it for a little while, and I apologize, I don't know his name. And he said, I don't think happiness, I think that's a byproduct. Dan said, well, what is it? And he said, if you as a person, if you have the ability mentally to know whatever happens to you, that you're going to be okay, that's the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is knowing that whatever comes your way, you're going to be all right. And for me, that's back on my faith, to be able to know that I'm in good hands and whatever's meant to be is going to happen. And so I just leave that with you to think about, for you to be able to kind of just meditate on, am I okay? No matter what happens to me today, am I okay? And if you're okay, you have happiness, you have the Holy Grail, you're going to be just fine. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope it shares. I hope it's not all about me and trying to be better than somebody else, because it's not. I just hope that you find a little bit of nugget in here to be able to encourage you to get after it. If there's anything I can do to help you, if you have more questions or want to follow up with any of this stuff, please let me know, okay? Take care.